There he is. Oh my God.
Alrighty.
Look at
Hello.
that. Right now with a tiger. Hey man, nice.
Yeah,
Hi, Tiger.
the Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Yeah.
Wow. Welcome to the show, man.
Welcome.
Smear.
Thank you.
How do you pronounce your
Welcome.
name? It's a very strange name. I have never seen a person with that name. How do you pronounce that name?
It's pronounced Shanir. It's Hebrew.
Near. Can we call you SR?
That's completely fine.
That'll be easier, man. That'll be easier. Oh man. Mr. SR, what can you tell us about yourself?
Sorry, me?
Yes, introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So my name is Shanir, and I am the operations manager for NTI Global. So we manufacture, or we make industrial ductwork. So it's used in disaster recovery and hurricane relief. So like if
anyone who works as hard as this guy.
Well,
except for Angel. Angel works really, really hard.
yeah,
Except me.
I was going
Yeah.
to say, listen, I was going to say the same. I know one. There's Angel right there, man. Angel, he works a lot. Every time I call him or his wife, he's working. I can listen to him in the background teaching all the time, 24/7, man, 365. That's what he does. Listen, we have Melvis in the house. Melvis, say hello.
Hi everybody, how's it going? Everything okay?
We're good. We have a special guest, man. We are calling him SR because their name is too difficult to be pronounced. SR. And he's a workaholic. Let me tell you, that's what you mean.
What do you do in your free time? How do you escape from the risk of your work, or express yourself in your daily basis with your family and
That's a very good question. The reality is, because this is a family business, it's a second generation family business.
Wow.
There's no real stepping away. So and it's also so. And the other thing I find is difficult is finding the balance between work life and home life. And because there's so many things that I have to keep track of, at first I was resistant to the idea of taking what I do at work and how I organize things and structure things. And I didn't want to do that with my home life. But after having 3 children, I decided that it was probably better that I take how I can organize things at work and then do the same thing and structure it at home. So it's kind of a continuation. I just have to, I don't really have free time per se. I just move from project to project to project. And that sounds a little insensitive when it comes to thinking about like my children, but I know that they need my time as well. So as I finish with my work projects, I have a cutoff point and I say, all right, done. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to switch over and I'm going to focus on the children for the next however long. And then it's the next thing and the next thing. So I have to plan meticulously is what I would say.
Yeah, maybe it's a
That's
benefit.
Yes, it is. By the way, the time that I met you, it was that was another crossover. It was a Spanish every section, and when I met Near, you were with one of your kids. You were with one of them. So
Yes.
what are they right now? Your children? What are they?
They are playing outside the office right now. They're running a little wild right now because so I work most days out of the week, even if it's even on the weekend. Like I just finished re-automating something, and my wife works Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So no matter what, one of us is always working. So now I have the children. I know I was going to do this, and then after this, I'm taking them to the park. But for right now, it's kind of wild out there. So.
Yeah, I know. I remember you were running after him all over the office the other day. Yeah. That.
Could you say one characteristic about each one of your kids?
Yeah, of course. A characteristic of each of them, I would say my oldest, defining characteristic would be that she's outgoing and expressive. So she's someone that you can always tell where she stands on something, because if she's angry, she's going to make a face, be like that. And if she's upset, she'll do the same thing, because she's so outgoing. She requires a kind of attention, it kind of demands attention. If you, my middle child is kind of the sneaky one. She's the exact opposite of my oldest child. She's not necessarily not outgoing as it is that she's very reserved, and she plays how can I say this? She knows that because her older sister is outgoing, that gets her in trouble sometimes. So she tries to play in the card of trying to just sneak under the radar all the time. And then my youngest child, his defining characteristic is that he is the troublemaker. He knows that he can get into trouble and get away with it because he's the littlest one. So it doesn't matter if he goes and pulls one of their hairs. He'll get away with it because he'll cry, and it's like, oh, no picking on the little one. So yeah, those would be kind of the defining characteristics. I would that I gave her better characteristics, but they're only, 6, 4, and 2. So they haven't really developed or gotten into their own, if you will.
Yeah, there will be more.
Absolutely.
What do you think is the most important quality you need to have at work?
I would say in any job, the most important quality you have to have is acceptance of accountability or, personal responsibility. So if you mess up on something, own it, accept that. If as soon as you try to say, well, I would have done this if so-and-so hadn't done this, or I would have done this if, nope, own up to it and just say, you made a mistake, and this is how you're going to focus on fixing it the next time. Managers don't ever really want to hear about a problem. They want to hear about the solution or the scope of it. So, I would say the biggest issue, the biggest separation between a manager and someone that isn't a manager is someone that isn't a manager will say, hey, boss, we got this big problem. But that's it. It's a feeling of there's a stress associated with that there is a problem, and there's nothing beyond that. The manager would say, hey, there's a problem. 5 of these things didn't pass QC. So there's more detail to it. So as someone that's higher than a manager, someone that's like a director, like myself, you can say, okay, there's 5. All right, here's what I want you to do. Since there's only 5, we're going to do this and this. So you don't just come to me with a problem, you come to me with the full scope of what the issue is, not just a feeling that something might be wrong. I have all the details, and then I can make an informed decision. And that's what really is most important, I would say.
Any other country?
Okay, Raul connection is not good, but I listened to him asking you that if you have been abroad. When
I was younger, my father and mother thought it was important for us to experience other cultures and to have a more broader approach to a broader understanding of how the world works. So I've been to many different countries. Of course, there are many more than I haven't visited, but I've been to Europe quite a few times. I've been to Mexico as well. I haven't really traveled in South America, although I'd like to. But mostly Europe, and of course, I've been to many different states within the U.S., which doesn't sound like you're absorbing different culture, but the reality is one of the reasons why the United States is such a tourist destination is because you can kind of pick and choose both the climate and culture that you want to experience. You know, if you go to Florida versus if you go to Oregon, they're completely different, both in climate and in culture. But yeah, I've been across Europe a few times, and for my honeymoon, I went to Scotland, which was a new experience for me. But yeah, England maybe like 4 times, Italy, France. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're coming back in a few seconds with more ELC Club. Sneer, we're looking for sponsors, man. I don't know if your company wants to sponsor us, man. We're looking for sponsors.
We'll see.
What
We'll
do you
see.
think about it? Talking about, do you speak Italian?
No.
Or French or
I'm learning
no?
French bit by bit, but I've had to kind of put it on pause. I'm going back to it again. But yes, it's my goal to learn French, and then following French, I'd very much like to learn Portuguese.
Oh, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. He speaks very good Spanish. You know, we're gonna have a Spanish session at the end. Just continue with the question, but he speaks very good Spanish. I remember him saying one of the words. Do you remember the word, Angel? The word that he's.
Yeah, I remember the moment, but not the word. But I remember you
Do
were
you
surprised.
remember the word? He might not even remember.
Ajetreo.
Ajetreo.
Wow,
Man,
yeah.
he is American.
No, he said, no, Sneer, let me tell you this.
And we were
Let me
having
tell you this. Sneer has,
and he said ajetreo, and I
Sneer
was
has
like,
a
dying. He
great,
said, what?
no, he's a very, very dedicated student. We've been working Spanish for, I don't know, Sneer, 3 years, almost.
Yeah.
Okay, only practicing. He already speaks Spanish before me, but man, the vocabulary he has is great. Of course, he has a lot of. You have a lot of contact with Latinos, no, with your employees. Most of all, they are from Puerto Rico. You told me.
Yeah, most of them are from Puerto Rico or descendants from Puerto Rico. Although I do have a couple people from Cuba, and now that I have a facility down here in Texas, I have some from Mexico as well. So I get a healthy dose of varying colloquialism.
It's a melting pot of Latin culture. Listen,
absolutely.
By the way, is there a way to say ajetreo in English? No, right? You don't have that word.
I want to say it's more of a phrase in English. I want to say in English it's more like hustle and bustle.
Hustle and bustle.
I don't know if that's a good translation, you know, but I don't know. Sometimes there's words that just kind of are a feeling than like an actual, you know, putting words to it. You know what I mean?
Okay, hello. I just have one question. How did you put the picture of the tiger as a presentation? It is cool.
She was curious about it. She was like, okay, I have to ask this question. Come on.
Yeah, so easy enough. We use Zoom for our technically for our voice over IP software, for sort of basically for our phone system. So we use it at work. So I have a bunch of preloaded backgrounds.
If you don't have to live, what do you do?
Oh, that's nice.
That's a very good question.
I think I know the answer, but.
This question is about
there's no need for you
right
to work. You already have enough money. You're wealthy. So what do you do then? That's
Yeah,
nice
you know,
question.
I guess it's a very good question. Both in with respect to, you know, what would you do in terms of, you know, now you finish working and now it's the retirement section of it. I don't know. Or if you're just saying, if you don't have to, if you said, look, money wasn't an issue, money's not a factor anymore, what would you do? I think I would go back to really praying about what it is that I'm supposed to do while being on this earth, if that makes sense. I know it sounds kind of like a weird answer, but I don't think that we were created to every day wake up and just work until we die. So I don't know. I think I take it one day at a time. As far as retirement's concerned, I got shit tons of plans. I've seen both my father and mother-in-law retire and my own parents retire, and I've carefully observed what they've done since then. And my parents are adamant about trying to get more travel in before they reach an age where they can't do any more travel. And my father-in-law and mother-in-law, they have no idea what they're going to do. So because of that, I have spent the last 2 years and will continue making a giant list of things I want to do. So the moment that this presents itself, I can start doing those things. So yeah, I because I didn't want to reach the point where being like, I'm done.
But I can stop working. And when I say working, part of doing, even if I'm wealthy, I'm gonna continue doing the same thing. Because I was telling the other day to the teacher when telling them, it's like, wait a second, we have 10 minutes. It's like LeBron, for example. He's already wealthy, he's rich. And he goes out every day and he plays for the Lakers, you see? Because that's what he loves doing. So I will do the same. I'm going to continue teaching. I will do it, even if I'm rich. So I'm going to go out, have fun with my students, and I'm not worried about the money, but I'm going to continue doing the same thing. You know? You know?
And this is, and for this, I do the question for every people. You know? Doing something do you love? Why? Because the life is only one.
If you
live just for one time.
If you do what you love, you won't work one single day in your life.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're just having fun. And it happens, you happen to get money because of it, but you're having fun. That's what you're doing. It's just like artists. They go out, they put on a show, they go on stage, it's full, people pay for the ticket, they get the money, but when they are there, they're having fun. They're singing, but they're having fun. And I know you like your job, man, because if you don't like it, it's near. If you don't like it, you wouldn't work so much and so hard. So
you stay in depression.
You love it. Yes, the same way with Mirlenis and Angel. I don't know about Diego, Andres, and Ariana because you're younger. But Melvis is a workaholic. All of us.
I agree with you.
We try to work 24/7 because we love what we're doing. That's what it is. That's what it is.
And right now, I'm working hard.
Thank you for sharing this English moment with us, man. Now we switch.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Spanish chévere. It's a crossover.
We appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you. Bye, guys.